we are talking with you. It looks as though, let me make sure I'm getting the right information here, again, that was going until, as you can see, 7:45, but the new severe thunderstorm warning, this includes southwestern Johnson, western Pawnee, and southeastern Gage County until 8:15 for severe thunderstorm 6 miles southeast of Wymore, moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. I think it's more of it looks like east-northeasterly movement there.
Right.
60 mile per hour wind gusts and half-dollar size hail. Again, that's southwestern Johnson, western Pawnee, southeastern Gage County until 8:15. Severe thunderstorm warning for 60 mile per hour wind gusts and half-dollar size hail. Storm moving east-northeast at 35 miles per hour.
Okay, one of the reasons that we place this severe weather information on the bottom of the screen is so that you can tell not only what counties we're talking about, but also it gives you an idea of the expiration time. And so these are the strongest storms now across Gage County. Almost the entire area of Gage County is included now in some kind of severe thunderstorm warning. So off to the west remains that severe thunderstorm warning now, that tornado warning till 7:45. For Fillmore County and portions of a couple of other counties. These are the newest warnings at this point for Gage, Johnson, and Pawnee, different portions. We've got two separate storms here. So we're talking about two separate warnings, but very intense thunderstorm activity across that entire region. So with the northern half of the county, it looks like it's going to be until 8 o'clock. And then, as Brandon was just mentioning, that newest warning for the southern portions of Gage County, as well as portions of Johnson and Pawnee, that's going to be until 8:15. So Brandon, from this range, let's zoom out a little bit. And once again, check out Lancaster County. Still not looking at any kind of severe weather threat for the Lincoln Metro. We're in pretty good shape. Again, right now, talking about right now, and as we loop this over the past hour or so, you can see the movement is to the north and to the east. So we could get lucky and see the strongest parts of the Gage County storms miss the Lincoln Metro just to our north and east. We're not going to plan on that, but that could certainly happen. And then we're keeping our eye on this squall line of thunderstorms that continues to our west from around York back through the Geneva and near the Hebron areas. So again, these are thunderstorms, severe thunderstorms that are capable of producing a tornado. No reports, beside that earlier report in Hollenberg, Kansas, of a tornado on the ground. That's really the only confirmed tornado on the ground that we've had, and no reports of any damage or injuries due to tornadoes. But certainly there's going to be some damage out here. Hopefully no injuries, but certainly some damage from the potential here of 50, 60, 70 mile per hour plus winds with this squall line of storms as it continues to work its way towards the east. Almost looks like the southern end of this is weakening just a little bit, but still packing quite a punch. Brandon, if we went up north a little bit and took a look at the Platte and Colfax County areas, we've got warnings up here from south of Norfolk, as we mentioned, back through Creston, back through Columbus. Some of these areas just got hammered yesterday with the thunderstorms that were very slow moving. These are, as you mentioned, are not going to be slow moving, but they are going to drop tremendous amounts of rain. They could see wind gusts over 60 miles per hour, dangerous lightning. And again, the winds could be in excess of 60 miles an hour, if not stronger than that, with this activity as it continues to push off to the east. And you can see that the movement on most of these storms, maybe some of the individual cells are sliding northeasterly, but the entire line continues to push towards the east. So if you are not looking at heavy to severe thunderstorm activity in Columbus right now, you're going to see it in a minute. Or two. This is a heads up in Linwood. This is a heads up in Madison. This is a heads up in West Point. This is a heads up in Fremont. Because unless these storms dramatically weaken over the next hour, we're going to continue to see these storms racing towards the east now between 35 and 40 and up to 50 miles per hour. So that's what we're looking at. One more time, Brandon, go back to Lancaster County and we'll check out the tornado warnings. The expiration time on those warnings was what?
We have until, and I've just got an update on the one tornado warning that is for eastern Fillmore and northeastern Thayer counties. They're saying a severe squall line capable of producing both tornadoes and extensive straight line wind damage located from around Geneva to Alexandria, moving east at 50 miles per hour. So we do not have any confirmed tornadoes at this time. Radar indicated rotation, but even if you don't see a tornado with this line, we are talking about extensive straight line wind damage with with that tornado warning for Fillmore and Thayer County until 7:45. We also had that tornado warning going for York County until 7:45 as well. Let me check and see if I have any new information on that. Does not look like looks like the latest update we had from National Weather Service was that it was just radar indicated rotation, but not only tornadoes, just like Fillmore and Thayer, extensive straight line wind damage possible. Storm was moving east at 45 miles per hour, and it looks like we have a new tornado warning that is being issued, and it includes portions of Gage County. It is northwestern Johnson, northeastern Gage County, and there in southeastern Nebraska. So this would include Adams, and it is for the severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. Was located 9 miles east of Beatrice, moving northeast at 25 miles per hour. Not only is a tornado possible, but $half size hail as well. Again, this is a new tornado warning for northwestern Johnson and northeastern Gage County till 8:30 for severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado, moving northeast at 25 miles per hour. And a new severe thunderstorm warning has just been issued as well. We're going to take you right back up into northeastern Nebraska, as it looks like this is south central Cumming, Colfax, eastern Platte, western Dodge, northern Butler, northwestern Saunders counties. So this would include Linwood until 8:30 for severe thunderstorm located near Columbus, moving east at 55 miles per hour. Could see some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts there from that line of storms making its way from Columbus towards Linwood, Ken.
All right, so that tornado, that latest tornado warning for portions of Gage, what was the rest of it?
It was for northwestern Johnson and northeastern Gage County until 8:30.
And was that radar indicated?
Radar indicated rotation at this time, as well as $half size hail possible with that severe thunderstorm.
All right, and this is usually the point in the evening where we usually talk about how serious do we take these radar indicated tornadoes. And as meteorologists, we want folks to be taking them as gospel, because especially with these storms that have are heavy precipitation producing events, you could get a rain wrapped tornado and not know until it is on top of you that there was actually a tornado on the ground. So it can be extremely difficult to make those determinations, and that's why, folks, we want you every time that we get a tornado warning issued by the National Weather Service to take the few minutes that it takes to put yourself and your family in a place of safety, knowing that this isn't going to last all that long, and it is so much better to be safe than sorry.
Right, and you can get, especially when we have these frontal boundaries that are in play like we do tonight, like the warm front that's in southeast Nebraska, you can get those quick spin-ups. So it can happen very quickly. A tornado can form. So yes, you definitely, anytime tornado warning is issued, you want to seek your safe spot and stay out of harm's way.
So what are our three expiration times on the York County warning, the Fillmore and Thayer County warnings, and then the newest warning for portions of Johnson and Gage?
The York, Fillmore, and Thayer, as you can see, we'll see if we can get the expiration time on the York. I believe they're both till 7:45 on those. And then the new one that was just issued that includes portions of Johnson and Gage counties, that one going until 8:30.
All right, so the 7:45 tornado warnings to the west of Lincoln and Lancaster County have 1 minute to run. So as we keep you on the single side storm tracker radar here, we should see those polygons pop off, and then we'll know within a minute or two whether the National Weather Service office in Valley is going to reissue those warnings, or if we can go to that straight line wind threat, the large hail threat, the heavy rain threat, and the dangerous lightning threat. What have you got, Brandon?
They are going to expire the tornado warning for York County. It looks like it will expire at 7:45. A couple of storm reports I've just gotten here. Looks like in Shickley in Fillmore County, emergency manager is reporting that power lines have been downed in the Shickley area within the last half hour. So again, there's some power outages, some power lines down there, Shickley and Fillmore County, and also maybe some power outages, it looks like, perhaps around Geneva as well.
All right, so we should be seeing these polygons pop off the screen, and I think they're gone.
Yes, they just expired. We just hit 7:45.
All right, so that's what we were hoping, and that's what we were expecting. Now, that doesn't mean that the National Weather Service could not reissue some warnings. And as you mentioned, with all of the weather features that are coming together, you know, a lot of times meteorologists will talk about a triple point and how that's such a dangerous place to be. We've got an area of low pressure, we've got a cold front, we've got a warm front, and we also have a dry line in this case. So our triple point actually has 4 pieces to it, which was one of the reasons why there was such great instability and great concern over portions of south central, southeastern Nebraska, as well as north central and northeastern Kansas today. So the only tornado warning we have now is the one that's in effect until 8:30. This is the one that just got issued a few moments ago for portions of northeast Gage and northwestern Johnson County. So you can see that in the Adams County area. You can see that that particular cell should stay to the east of the Lincoln Metro. We're watching those storms now move across Polk County, York County, Fillmore County, portions of Thayer County, and then the next tier of counties, Butler, Seward, Saline, all under warnings as well for that line of storms that's coming. And there may be some very high winds in advance of those storms as they continue to race towards the east. So again, we're seeing, especially on the southern end of that, the southern flank of that line of storms, Brandon, things are really quieting down across portions of Thayer County, that Hebron and Chester area. And so we'll see what happens to these storms as they continue to race to the east.
Yes. Also, just kind of a heads up here, reading some other storm reports of power outages in Thayer County. Looks like as the line went through, 65-mile-per-hour wind gust reported by the fire department and rescue in Carlton of when it went through those winds and power is out in town. We've also have some power lines down, it looks like, in Clay County, Edgar and Ong. There are some, Edgar, near Edgar, multiple irrigation pivots have been overturned. So we are looking at, again, some power outages and some wind damage being reported in some areas. And we have a new tornado warning now. You can see there for Seward County. Let's take a closer look here into Seward County. This would include, let's see, we have severe thunderstorms capable of producing both tornadoes and extensive straight line wind damage located near Utica. You can see that right there on the edge of that tornado warning. Beaver Crossing included in this, and Seward. Radar indicated rotation at this time, but not only are severe thunderstorms capable of producing a tornado, but also extensive straight line wind damage. They are moving east at 35 miles per hour. So I'm going to stop the loop here, kind of go out. Let's see from the edge of this, if it's around Utica, let's go out 35 miles per hour here and just kind of maybe get a bit of timing because that may put it coming into Lincoln here, maybe within the next hour, 45 minutes to an hour, maybe 8:42. Looks like according to this estimation right now, maybe heading towards Seward here within the next 15 minutes, and then eventually maybe around Malcolm and Raymond between around 8:20 and 8:35, it looks like.
All right, so that's the newest tornado warning. This is the one, this particular cell or the area of the squall line, if you will, where we had the tornado warning until 7:45 for central York County. They allowed that to expire at 7:45, but the Weather Service folks are concerned, still concerned enough about the rotation and the straight line wind potential here that they have reissued now a tornado warning, this one now for Seward County until 8:15. So obviously, if you live in southeastern Nebraska, you know that Seward County is one county to the west of Lancaster County. It's the next county to our west. So folks in Seward, folks in Milford, folks in Beaver Crossing, please be getting to your safe shelter right now if you can. Make sure that you're battening down the hatches as best you can. We certainly hope that we don't see a tornado, but even if we don't see a tornado with this particular tornado warning, we've got straight line winds that could certainly do some damage, 60, maybe even excess of 70 miles per hour as this storm moves to the east at about 35 miles an hour. Now, when it was a tornado-warned storm in York County, we had an easterly movement at 50 miles an hour, so the storm line has actually slowed down a little bit, and that's why, according to that latest storm track that Brandon just put on this line, that it may not make it into the Lincoln area until between 8:30 and 8:45. We'll have to wait and see. Sometimes these squall lines will slow down, sometimes they will speed up, depending on other atmospheric conditions. So that is certainly something that we're concerned with. Brandon, did you want to put velocity on here and take a look at whether we can pick out any kind of a couplet as far as this tornado warning is concerned? Might be seeing a little something right here that might be causing some concern. Nothing really dramatic, but that doesn't mean that that couldn't change in a minute or two. It certainly could as this storm continues to barrel towards the east at 35 miles an hour. And once again, remember that the National Weather Service was not only concerned with the rotation, the potential rotation within this supercell thunderstorm, but also the potential for damaging straight line winds.
Yes, and we've had some reports of this as this line has gone through other counties of some power outages, some 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts. So be aware of those kind of winds, even if you don't see a tornado, we're still talking about those kind of winds, maybe heading through Seward, maybe even down towards Milford as we head through the next little bit here. And then really anywhere along this line, even looking up a little further northward here as I expand the view to show you that this line does go all the way up to north of Humphrey. In fact, all the way up now towards Norfolk. We have this line that is moving off towards the east. And we do have those severe thunderstorm warnings. You see the severe thunderstorm warning that includes Columbus as that line is making its way towards Schuyler. Do we want to, let's check in with the weather shield. I believe it's in Saline County. I'll move the radar down here. I believe they are looking more towards Fillmore County at this time is where the camera is pointed. So Madison, if you can hear me, how are things looking now there in Saline County?
Yeah, Brandon, we are thunderstorm from Fillmore County kind of moved toward us. I'm sure you can see it on the weather shield camera. It's lightning. I would, Brandon, I would describe it as a pretty nasty looking storm. It's definitely moving quickly and kind of, it looks like moving up to the northeast. Our producer Ryan Swanigan is with me, and he's telling me it's starting to look like a shelf cloud.
Okay. All right, so maybe some indications that we're starting to get...
it's getting darker, a lot of lightning.
Okay.
Madison, have you guys gotten rain? Have you gotten any wind? Have you gotten any gust fronts? Have you gotten any anything that you would consider threatening in any way, shape, or form up to this point?
No. Yeah, no, Ken. We've had some sprinkles. It hasn't been windier than normal. Nothing that I would consider threatening, no.
And it still looks like, according to radar in loop mode, that Saline County has really been a pretty benign situation, at least up to this point. It looks like the heaviest storms now are to your west, with some of those storms just to your west in Fillmore County starting to weaken. But by far, the strongest storms continue off to the north of Saline County, and we're talking about some heavy activity that's still left over the northeastern corner of York County, but pummeling portions of Seward County now, and then points to the north. We'll be talking about Polk and Butler counties, and then all the way up towards the Columbus area. That's where our strongest storms appear to be right now. So we'll take it back to radar. Madison, thank you and Ryan for being out there. So far, so good as far as you guys are concerned, with no severe weather threat that you've encountered, at least at this point. So we'll certainly take that as good news and keep an eye on these storms. With just the one tornado warning now for portions of Gage and Johnson. Oh, that's not true.
Nope, we've got, looks like a new tornado warning that has just been issued here. Looks like it's southern Johnson and northwestern Pawnee County until 8:15. So let's take you into that area. This looks to include Tecumseh and Sterling. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located 14 miles northeast of Blue Springs or 17 miles east of Beatrice and moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. Again, this is a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado 14 miles northeast of Blue Springs or 17 miles east of Beatrice, moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. Not only is a tornado possible, but half-dollar size hail. This is a tornado warning until 8:15 for southern Johnson and northwestern Pawnee County.
Brandon, the other thing we're starting to see, at least on radar now, and I've just noticed this within the last 10 or 15 minutes, is this bow shape now to the front edge of this particular squall line of thunderstorms, which generally indicates very strong winds, and so you're kind of matching that up with our storm tracker velocity. So that's certainly something that is a little bit of cause for concern. We've got a little bit of a couplet up here that we'll keep an eye on. Near that Adams, Nebraska area. You can see that's within one of the polygons, and then this brand new tornado warned polygon as well. Folks in Tecumseh, certainly Steiner, eventually Cook, you folks should be making sure that you're in your place of safety if you can get there, and that you know where everybody's at, and try to batten down the hatches. We'll go back to radar. This is, again, look at all the lightning that's associated with these storms as they continue to track off towards the east and to the northeast now. This is, Brandon's got it in loop mode here, so we're talking about, and we haven't spent very much time talking about how dangerous lightning can be, but obviously if you've lived in this part of the country for any length of time at all, you know full well how dangerous a component of a severe thunderstorm that lightning can be. And now you can see how everything is kind of lifting towards the north and east. So Brandon, if you can, let's get Lincoln back here in the picture so that we can get a little bit of an idea of where we're at here. So here's Lincoln in Lancaster County. Here are two tornado warnings moving off towards the north and east. So I would say no direct threat from these cells right now as far as the Lincoln Metro is concerned. It would appear that just based on radar over the last 15 minutes that some of this activity across Seward County is weakening, but that could certainly change. These squall lines, sometimes one area of the squall line may diminish while another may intensify. So it does appear that we are seeing, at least based on radar, that some of this activity has weakened. That certainly doesn't mean that this is any less of a dangerous storm here with that tornado warning, and certainly we could still be looking at damaging straight line winds. That storm continued to work its way to the east, and maybe the individual or the heaviest cells or portions of those thunderstorm clusters may be making a little bit move to the north and east. So we'll see exactly what we end up getting threatened with here in the Lincoln Metro. But right now we're concerned with the two tornado warnings off to our south and southeast, and then that warning, that tornado warning that continues for portions of Seward County.
I'm going to widen out the view and just give everyone a little overall picture here across the state as we have this low pressure system moving through the area, as well as we talked about, warm front, cold front, dry line, all moving through our area. And you will notice that I'd say western Nebraska, you're in the clear for severe weather. It looks like much of central Nebraska now, most of it. I'd say O'Neill, Grand Island, Hastings, even into north central Kansas for the most part, westward, probably seeing that severe weather threat greatly diminished at this time. If you're still around Norfolk, Columbus, York, down towards Concordia there in Kansas, eastward, I think we still obviously have that possibility of seeing the severe weather. And just to show you, let's check out those watches again, and you'll notice that portions of central Nebraska have been taken out, including Grand Island, Hastings, and Kearney. You're out of the tornado watch that was going till 9. It looks like you're done at this point, but still continuing for portions of central Nebraska, including Aurora and York, until 9. And then until 11 tonight, we have that tornado watch for Lincoln, Beatrice, down into northeastern Kansas. And as we talked about earlier, in case you're just joining us, severe thunderstorm watch until midnight tonight for Columbus, Omaha, Wahoo, and portions of eastern Nebraska, and again until midnight tonight. That severe thunderstorm watch. Looks like we have a new warning to talk about, Ken?
We do, and it's a severe thunderstorm warning, which you would think would be a little bit better than a tornado warning, but this one has serious consequences associated with it. A brand new severe thunderstorm warning for Johnson County, southwestern Nemaha, northwestern Richardson, and northeastern Pawnee counties until 8:45. Just before 8 o'clock, a severe thunderstorm was located 10 miles northwest of Pawnee City, or about 25 miles east of Beatrice, moving to the northeast at 45 miles an hour. This is a destructive storm. This is straight from the National Weather Service, folks. This is a destructive storm for Tecumseh, Elk Creek, and Steiner. 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts and half-dollar size hail are possible with this particular supercell. Trained weather spotters have reported at 7:55 an 81-mile-per-hour wind gust measured in Lewiston, Nebraska. So severe thunderstorm is expected to be near Table Rock around 8:05 and Tecumseh around 8:10. Repeating now, that's a severe thunderstorm warning for Johnson, southwest Nemaha, northwest Richardson, and northeastern Pawnee County until 8:45. A severe thunderstorm located 10 miles northwest of Pawnee City, or 25 miles east of Beatrice, moving to the northeast at 45 miles an hour, potentially could contain 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts and half-dollar size hail.
Yeah, so very dangerous situation there, because not only do you have those high winds, but the tornado threat as well with those storms there around Tecumseh down towards Pawnee City, making their way eventually maybe towards Humboldt and up towards Auburn at this time. So keep an eye there. Again, if you are east of any of these storms we've been talking about, you still have that potential to see some severe weather for tonight. We expand the view here, show you Lincoln, Lancaster County area. Check also Saline County. It doesn't look like we have anything severe in those areas. Some storms are moving into southeastern Lancaster County, so around Firth and up towards Hickman. Maybe starting to see some rain moving into the Lincoln area, but it looks as though some of these storms have maybe weakened a bit, but we still have that line to our west. And you can see there in Seward County that we still have the severe thunderstorm warning and that tornado warning going until 8:15 for not only that possibility of tornado, but some damaging straight line winds as well. That line to our west does have a history of some 60, 70 mile per hour wind gusts. We've had some power outages reported. Some pivots have been overturned in areas in central Nebraska as that line moved through.
We also have a brand new flood advisory that's now in effect until 1 a.m. Saturday morning for Gage County. Minor flooding in low-lying and poor drainage areas and some water over the roadways will be possible at just before 8 o'clock. Doppler radar indicated heavy rain due to thunderstorms. Minor flooding is ongoing or expected to begin shortly in the advisory area. Between 1 and 3 inches of rain have fallen in a short amount of time. Additional rainfall amounts of up to 1 inch are expected over this area. So additional rain will result in minor flooding. Some locations that may experience flooding include Wymore, Blue Springs, Odell, Pickrell, Adams, Philly, Virginia areas in Gage County. That's a flood advisory in effect till 1 a.m., Brandon.
And looks like we have a new severe thunderstorm warning to tell you about northeastern Nebraska. This is going to include western Cumming County, northeastern Colfax, northwestern Dodge, eastern Stanton until 8:30, as we have a severe thunderstorm located over Howells, or 25 miles northeast of Columbus. It is moving north at 30 miles per hour, and it looks like ping pong ball size hail is possible with this storm, as well as 60 mile per hour wind gusts, and it is moving north at 30 miles per hour, it looks like at this time. So again, that is between Norfolk and West Point, that new severe thunderstorm warning. And also looks like, do we have another
new
warning? Okay, the
checking
flood
out the flood
advisory.
Yep.
We also have that, of course, from earlier, that severe thunderstorm warning until 8:30 for portions of Butler, Colfax, Dodge, and Platte. This was for that line of storms moving from Columbus. Looks like it's now starting to move towards Schuyler at this time. So we could see those strong wind gusts through the Schuyler area. And heads up towards those of you in Hooper and Fremont, we have the possibility of seeing this line, maybe still severe when it gets there, but that line is making its way towards your area. So here's your early heads up. And also Wahoo. We want to let you know that this line could be making its way towards that Highway 77 corridor from Wahoo down towards Ceresco. And it looks like that line of storms is making its way through David City and Ulysses right now. They're right through Butler County. and making its way eastward towards Wahoo and Ceresco, and then we'll move a little further southward there into Seward County. We still have that tornado warning going until 8:15. I believe we have Bill Schammert.
Before you throw it to Bill,
sorry,
over at the
hang on just a
OTT
moment.
desk, Brandon, I want to mention that at 3 minutes after the hour of 8, the National Weather Service office in Omaha canceled that tornado warning for Gage.
Okay, so let's just take a quick look down there into Gage County. So Gage County, you were out of that tornado warning, but still for Johnson until 8:30, and for northwestern portions of Johnson County. And then you see other portions of Johnson County, including Tecumseh and down into Pawnee County, just to the northwestern part of the county there until 8:15, a tornado warning, which now looks like they have decreased that area. So glad we brought that to you live here on screen. So it's really just to the northwest of Tecumseh there into northwestern Johnson County, where we have the tornado warnings, one polygon until 8:15, another until 8:30. So now we'll send it over to Bill Schammert.
Hey, Brandon and Ken, great job. Thank you. Thank you so much. We're getting a lot of viewer-submitted photos and videos sent in to us, so I just want to give everybody a brief glimpse of what's actually going on out there. I'm going to start with some hail pictures, okay? This is near Holbrook, that is in Furnace County. You can see this, hour and a half, 2 hours ago, but we're talking about tennis ball size hail. Pretty similar site. This is near Stamford. That's in Harlan County. And then if we go south to Concordia, Kansas, this coming in about 45 minutes ago. Golf ball size hail. We've been getting a lot of photos of golf ball size hail tonight. We also have video that's coming in. Possible tornadoes. I know there have been possible tornadoes reported on the ground. Again, we remind everybody that these are verified by the National Weather Service the day after, so we're not going to call this a tornado, but this is what the video is coming into us. This is from Stamford. I'm just going to let this play out for a little bit. And you can kind of see what's starting to form there if you're watching the ground and then watching the sky. As this progresses over the next 10 or 20 seconds, you'll see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we see it there, Bill. Yeah, again, as you mentioned, National Weather Service will go out in the days coming up after this event.
And again, you can always send your video on via the 1011 Now app or via the 1011 Now website. One more piece of video. This is just east of York. This is Brook Gilliland. This is just east of York about 30 minutes ago or so. I also want to give Madison Pitch another chance to talk. She has left the Dorchester area, but still in Saline County. Madison, I believe the last time we talked to you, you were on your way to Milford. Is that still accurate?
Right, Bill. We're actually just outside of Dorchester still because that shelf cloud from started to move over us, so we wanted to stay put. We are looking north right now toward Milford. That shelf cloud's been moving over us for about, I would say 5 minutes or so. We're going through some pretty heavy rain. There's still a lot of lightning to our west. So we're going to sit this one out for a little bit and then get moving again.
Yeah, Madison, we got the weather radar pulled up right now. You said you're still in Dorchester. Okay, are you right along Highway 6? And then what direction is your camera facing right now? Madison Pitch, do you still got me? What direction are you guys facing?
I took my earbuds.
All right, I think we're running into a few audio issues. A few audio issues with Madison there. Okay, I think she said she's facing north. So again, she's in Dorchester, so she's looking up this direction right there. Again, but we're getting a lot of viewer-submitted photos. We'll keep bringing that to you throughout the night. For now, I want to send it right back to you, Ken and Brandon in the Weather Center.
Great job, thank you. Some of those pictures, some of that video was awesome. We've got a new severe thunderstorm warning for a couple of different warnings that we're going to get to here that have just come out from the Weather Service. The first is a severe thunderstorm warning for southeast Colfax, northern Lancaster, southwestern Dodge, northeastern Seward, eastern Butler, and Saunders County. I'm going to go through those one more time. It's a brand new severe thunderstorm warning until 8:45. It's about 10 minutes after right now. Brand new severe thunderstorm warning for southeast Colfax, northern Lancaster, southwestern Dodge, northeastern Seward, eastern Butler, and Saunders County until 8:45. At 8:07, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from 6 miles north of Schuyler to Garland, Nebraska, moving northeast at 40 miles an hour. The main threat with this latest severe thunderstorm warning, which does include northern Lancaster County, is for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Severe thunderstorms will be near Schuyler around 8:10, Dwight around 8:15, and Valparaiso around 8:25.
And Ken, another severe thunderstorm warning has just been issued. Let me get a little closer look here on this. This will include Weeping Water and Syracuse, as well as Unadilla and Palmyra. We have a severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Lancaster County, western Otoe, and southern Cass counties until 9, as we have severe thunderstorms located along a line extending from Panama to near Douglas to 5 miles east of Sterling, moving northeast at 55 miles per hour. Again, this is a line of severe storms that were located from a line extending from Panama to near Douglas to 5 miles east of Sterling, northeast at 55 miles per hour. 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Again, let me say that again. 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts and half-dollar size hail are possible with this, and it looks like we just now have a new tornado warning.
We do, and that's going to be for Otoe County, I think.
Yes, it does look like it is Otoe County, and let me get the statement here from the National Weather Service on that. This is for western Otoe County until 8:45 p.m. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Douglas. Let me see if I can get Douglas there, right there in the middle of your screen, or 24 miles southeast of Lincoln, moving north at 40 miles per hour. Not only is a tornado possible, but half-dollar size hail. Once again, these are two warnings that have just been issued. One is a severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Lancaster, western Otoe, southern Cass County until 9 for storms capable of producing 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts and half-dollar size hail moving northeast at 55 miles per hour. And now a tornado warning in western Otoe County for until 8:45 for a storm capable of producing a tornado. It was located near Douglas and moving north at 40 miles per hour. Not only a tornado, but half-dollar size hail possible as well.
So, Brandon, here's the situation as we look at this radar with this new tornado warning for western Otoe County. Folks in Burr, folks in Douglas, folks in Syracuse, folks in Palmyra, you need to be getting to your safe spot, that's for sure. Again, now we're looking at velocity mode and maybe some rotation down here in this particular part of the county, and that's certainly something that has drawn the attention of the National Weather Service, and this is radar indicated rotation at this point. But as we mentioned a couple of times before this evening, you can never be sure. The only way you can be sure is if you get yourself and your family to your safe location, and that is the best you can do right now. So again, we continue to see the threat for tornadoes. At this point, besides that video that Bill brought to you a little bit earlier that certainly looks like tornadic activity or the development of early stage tornadoes reaching the ground, we've had no reports of damage or injuries. But certainly it is going to be possible. And as you continue to see all the lightning and the rain that's associated with these storms, these funnels, these tornadoes can sometimes become rain wrapped and make it very difficult for folks on the ground, either the spotters network, the law enforcement folks that are out there, make it very difficult for them to spot these things until they're right on top of you. So that's why we urge you to heed these warnings. Again, it's a half hour, maybe an hour out of your life, and if you can keep yourself and your family safe, we think that that's well worth it. So we continue with this tornado warning for portions of Seward County. Again, Lincoln sits right in the middle here with no warning. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning for portions of northern Lancaster, and it is certainly possible as some of this thunderstorm activity rolls back towards the north, that portions of the Lincoln Metro could get grazed by some heavier thunderstorm activity. If that happens, Weather Service will issue that warning in a moment's notice, and we'll be right here to share it with you. But you can see the heaviest activity, including the couple of tornado warnings, continue just to the south and east of the Lincoln Metro, to the west of the Lincoln Metro across Seward County, and then we continue with, 6, 8, maybe still parts of 10 severe thunderstorm warnings that continue over portions of southeastern Nebraska.
Ken, I want to take us into northeastern Nebraska. A new tornado warning has just been issued until 8:45. This is going to include south central Wayne, northwestern Cumming, and eastern Stanton counties until 8:45. This tornado warning for severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is located 6 miles southeast of Stanton or 18 miles southeast of Norfolk, moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. Not only is a tornado possible, but half-dollar size hail. This storm moving northeast at 40 miles per hour, it looks like it could be near the Pilger area at 8:25 p.m. Again, this is a tornado warning for south central Wayne, northwestern Cumming, and eastern Stanton counties until 8:45.
All right, Brandon, I'm going to continue to let you be the bad guy, and I'm going to be the good cop and tell folks that Seward County tornado warning is going to be allowed to expire. So that's going to pop off the screen. So that's a little bit of good news there, because that was just upstream from Lincoln and Lancaster County. So it doesn't mean that we're completely out of the woods, but we're glad that the tornadic threat, at least associated with the Seward County warning, has weakened enough. You know, we talked a little bit about that over the last 10 minutes, that it appeared, and you have to be careful about how things appear when you're dealing with this squall line of thunderstorms, but it appeared that activity in Seward County had weakened. So that's good news. Certainly expecting to see some thunderstorms. Nate, if you can, and if you can't, you tell me in my IFB, can we take a look at Skyview? We've got the Skyview camera pointed towards a little bit to the west and southwest now here in Lincoln, and you can see the lightning. What great timing, Nate. Might be a time this evening for you to go buy that lottery ticket. That was perfect. You could see the lightning erupt there on the western horizon as we look towards the west and southwest. So we certainly think that we're going to see thunderstorms in the Lincoln area. It is certainly possible that we could see strong to severe thunderstorms. But as we mentioned, that tornado warning that was in effect until 8:15 for Seward County, just to our west, was allowed to expire by the National Weather Service. So at least at this point, we haven't seen any threatening weather in the Lincoln Metro. We've been one of the lucky locations. It seems like it's been swirling all around us, and now we've got tornado warnings to our north, tornado warnings to our south and east, and even in those areas, Brandon, with those tornado warnings, even if a tornado doesn't touch down or doesn't develop, we're still talking about the potential for up to golf ball or ping pong ball size hail, as well as winds that could be in excess of 70 miles an hour.
Right, and this line of storms out of central into eastern Nebraska has had that history of some power outages in some areas, and even in southeastern Nebraska, we're now getting some reports. Tecumseh and Johnson County, we're getting reports of some power outages there. And then also, again, we've had some pivots overturned in many areas. We've had also some building and grain bin damage in some areas as well. Looks like we have a new severe thunderstorm warning to talk about, so we'll get back.
Why don't you let me take
southeast
that
Nebraska.
And you get us back to that single site radar. This is going to be the newest severe thunderstorm warning for portions of Nemaha, central Nemaha, eastern Odo, and southeastern Cass. This is going to be a new severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect until 9 o'clock this evening. As you line that up, I'll let you read the particulars.
Yes, looks like severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from 4 miles north of Cook to 7 miles south of Johnson, and is moving northeast at 55 miles per hour. This from the National Weather Service. These are destructive storms making their way towards Auburn and Nebraska City. Again, these are destructive storms for Auburn and Nebraska City. 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts and half-dollar size hail possible. These storms have a history of producing 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So moving towards Auburn at 8:25 and Nebraska City and Peru by 8:35. These severe thunderstorms located along a line extending from 4 miles north of Cook to 7 miles south of Johnson, moving northeast at 55 miles per hour. 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts and half-dollar size hail making their way towards Auburn and Nebraska City.
All right, that's a pretty significant situation that we've got going on there. The tornado threat is still with us as well. When you have storms that are intense enough to drop ping pong ball size hail, and have winds in excess of 75 or 80 miles an hour, they certainly have the potential to drop a twister or two. And so that's why the warnings, the tornado warnings, continue in effect for Johnson County till 8:30, and now for portions of Otoe County until 8:45. Once again, Lincoln, you can see Lincoln kind of in the upper left-hand corner of your screen here. Brandon's done a great job of highlighting the area of southeastern Nebraska that is looking at the most severe thunderstorm activity right now, and it continues to look like these intense storms to our south and east are going to miss the bulk of the Lincoln Metro, but you can also see some pretty strong storms now moving into Garland as well as the Pleasantdale area. That's the activity that's moving across Seward County. And while it might be weaker than it was a half hour ago, it's still packing a bit of a punch, and it is still moving off towards the east. So we certainly continue to want folks in the Lincoln Metro to be prepared for some pretty heavy thunderstorm activity. That could include wind gusts over 50 miles an hour, some hail, maybe up to an inch-size hail, as well as lots of lightning and tremendous rainfall, at least for a brief period of time. So that's where that stands right now. Brandon, when you get a chance, I'll get you to zoom out a little bit and then move north so we can kind of see the severe weather in its entirety across the state. So this is the southeastern, this is the activity going on in southeastern Nebraska. We're talking about from around the Tecumseh area and now beginning to threaten or getting close to threatening Auburn and Nebraska City. And as we mentioned, as you mentioned when you read that warning information, 80-mile-per-hour winds going to knock some power lines down, going to knock some trees down, going to do some roof damage, and maybe even a little bit worse than that. But you can see now that this line is basically kind of broken into two parts and is impacting about the eastern quarter of the state right now into northeastern portions of Kansas. Not that there's not rain and some gusty winds out around Grand Island or just to the west of Columbus or in Fullerton or Polk or Stromsburg, some places like that. But the main threat, obviously, now is continuing to move from near Norfolk just to the east of Columbus in Platte County, down into extreme eastern portions of Seward County. Then you get that little bit of a break, which is pretty much right where the Lincoln Metro is situated. So once again, I don't know what we did right today, but we've seen very little in the way of threatening weather so far. And then the second part of that line of thunderstorms now continues to our south and east portions of Otoe County, and then a couple of severe thunderstorms warnings that continue as well.
Yeah, not out of the woods just yet in Lancaster counties. We still have the line to our west moving out of Seward and Saline County back into Lancaster County and northern Gage County. We also maybe want to take a look at Skyview again. Nate, if you can do that for us, and we'll see how things are looking off towards west-southwest here in the capital city right now, as we do have this line of storms moving in from the west into the capital city at this time. If you're unable to do that, Nate, I'll see if I can pull it up on the system myself here. Let me go ahead and do that. We'll go ahead and look at our Lincoln Skyview, and you'll notice that we are looking towards the Capitol. So again, this is just to the west-southwest at this time that we are watching those storms moving in. Obviously going to have some lightning to deal with, maybe some heavy rain, but at this time, the Lincoln area is not under a severe thunderstorm warning, but that could change at any moment as we do have that line moving in from the west.
Brandon, you were working last night. What did we end up with as far as precipitation officially? And I know that there were some parts of town that saw even more significant numbers than or maybe the airport probably ended up with one of the bigger totals this time, which hardly has ever happened, at least this spring.
It did, because we kind of had three really, I guess, almost rounds, you could say, that moved through the Lincoln Airport that put down some significant moisture. And it looks like, looking at the numbers, we picked up at the airport between last night into this morning upwards of about 2.5 inches of rain there at the airport being picked up again last night and into this morning. So probably going to add to that total here as we make our way through the next hour or two, and even into later tonight and Saturday, because we still have the possibility of more rain. The severe threat will end a little here probably over the next few hours, but later tonight into tomorrow, we still have that low pressure system to deal with.
Right.
So we're going to see occasional showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm, and some strong winds. Now, the severe threat will move out, but we're still going to have those strong winds. In fact, if you saw the newscast earlier tonight, if you're going to watch us at 10 tonight, I'll show you that high wind warning that's in central and western Nebraska, because we could have wind gusts later tonight into the day Saturday in that 40 to 65 mile per hour range.
Well, and we know, we've talked to folks at home many times about one of the things to reach severe thunderstorm criteria is winds 58 miles per hour or greater. And so we could certainly see winds at 58 miles per hour or greater over portions of the state on Saturday. So that's a great point. So you're looking at, we've gone back to radar, but the reason we looked at sky view is because you could tell it was raining. We had some occasional lightning, but nothing too untoward. And so we are seeing that precipitation now push into the Lincoln metro area. This is southeastern Nebraska, obviously, where we've got a handful of severe thunderstorm warnings, including one for portions of northern Lancaster County, also for portions of Butler and Saunders County. And then we've got that tornado warning for portions of Odo that's in effect until 8:45, and severe thunderstorm warning that continues for Johnson, Nemaha, Pawnee, and Richardson until 8:45. And as Brandon moves north, we'll see that, again, it continues to pick up that Odo County warning, but also this tornado warning for portions of Cummings, Stanton, and Wayne counties, that continues until 8:45. And then we've got several additional severe thunderstorm warnings, some of these for winds of 70 to 80 miles per hour. Probably, I don't know that we've seen winds quite that strong, the northern end of this squall line, Brandon, but I know that was a concern with some of these severe thunderstorm warnings to the south.
Yes, and even the ones to the north we're still probably talking about that, at least that potential of at least 60 mile per hour wind gusts possible, and maybe even perhaps some hail up to ping pong ball size in some locations as this line continues to move through. Looks like that line is making its way towards Fremont, Wahoo, and Davie at this time. So heads up to you, that line is edging closer and closer to you. And now looks like a new severe thunderstorm warning that's going to include portions of Cass, Douglas, and Sarpy County. So Plattsmouth up towards Omaha would be included in this new severe thunderstorm warning until 9:30. 70 mile per hour wind gusts and $half size hail possible as the storms are moving northeast at 30 miles per hour. So it looks like Plattsmouth up towards Omaha, Ken, going to be impacted by these storms that are right now right around Unadilla, Nebraska City, making their way up northeast.
And it looks like we lost the tornado warning in northeastern Nebraska.
Yes, it looks like that is gone. Also, didn't have a chance to mention a little earlier, Johnson County is out. So the only tornado warning we have right now is for western Oto County until 8:45.
And we'll once again reiterate that we have had no reports of tornado damage or injuries tonight, which we always consider a blessing. And then you can see the highlighted polygon with Omaha right at the top third of it. That's the brand new severe thunderstorm warning that runs until 9:30 tonight for portions of Cass, Douglas, Pottawatomie in Iowa, and Sarpy counties in Nebraska. So that's what we're looking at this point. The threat, the main threat now is south and east of Lincoln, moving to the north and east. Could certainly graze portions of southeastern or eastern Lincoln metro locations. And then we're seeing the northern end or northern two-thirds of this storm system moving through Seward and Butler and Saunders, as well as northern Lancaster right now. So this next half hour to 45 minutes, maybe a little bit longer than that, here in the capital city might be the worst or the most significant threat that we see for the remainder of the evening.
Yes, again, the storms extending all the way up into northeastern Nebraska as I kind of widen out the view. In fact, I'm going to show you the satellite radar picture here that is more the composite for us, and I'll even expand a little further just to show you Look at eastern Kansas. They are dealing with a lot of severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings as well. So not just here in the Cornhusker State, but down into Kansas as well. Looks like those severe storms going all the way down to Wichita at this time. And that line is making its way towards Kansas City probably between now and midnight. If you have some family or friends down there, may want to give them the heads up. They got some severe weather heading their way from the west.
This regional picture too, Brandon, this regional view that you're giving folks really gives them an idea of that counterclockwise, almost cinnamon roll swirl shape to this strong spring storm system. And again, obviously we've had a tremendous amount of severe weather tonight so far, and we're not out of the woods yet, but you're really going to understand the impact of this storm, not only from the severe weather threat tonight, but those winds that Brandon was talking about 15 minutes ago that we're going to be seeing across much of the state tomorrow. We could be looking at winds in excess of 60 or even 65 miles an hour over portions of western and central Nebraska, and certainly could see wind gusts once again in the Lincoln area at 50 miles an hour, if not stronger. And that's as the weather system pulls to the north and east and out of our area. So once again, a very wound up, very intense area of low pressure with a tremendous energy potential, and that's what we're seeing in the form of severe weather tonight, and that's what a lot of us will be seeing in the form of strong winds on Saturday.
Yes, and those winds could kick up as soon as midnight, 1 a.m. in the west, and then kind of expand eastward. And so it does look like the bulk of the day Saturday, so those sustained winds could be in that 25, 35, 40 mile per hour range with those gusts, as we were just talking about, 40 to 65 miles per hour. Let's go here into western Odo County. It looks like we might be getting an update on that. Let me take a look here from the National Weather Service. And
it looks like they've shrunk the area a little bit, which we're always excited to see. That, again, doesn't mean that that's not the same as the all clear signal, but at least the signature area, as far as that tornado warned polygon is concerned, did get a little bit smaller.
Yeah, still just radar indicated rotation at this time. But again, as we discussed, even if it's just radar indicated rotation, you still want to get to your safe spot because we can get those quick spin ups to happen, and a tornado could happen quickly. But severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Unadilla and moving northeast at 30 miles per hour. So again, this is northwestern Odo County until 8:45. Still a tornado warning in effect.
So we're going to keep a really close eye on things here for the next 15, 20 minutes for sure as far as Lincoln and Lancaster County is concerned. But you can see that severe weather threat is now primarily to our east and southeast, moving to the northeast. And the threat that's coming our way from the west, the southern end of that threat has been weakening over time, over the last hour or so. Certainly doesn't mean that the Weather Service might not issue a severe thunderstorm warning that might include more of the Lincoln Metro, but right now you got to feel pretty good if you're in the Lincoln Metro about the severe weather threat that's now to our east and southeast, and also the severe weather threat that is off to our north. There's an update there too, Brandon, that has just, see if you can't, for that warning for northern Lancaster,
Yes.
as well as Saunders, and we'll see what the latest information from the Weather Service is on that.
Looks like it remains in effect until 8:45 for southeastern Colfax, northern Lancaster, southwestern Dodge, northeastern Seward, eastern Butler, and Saunders County. So let's just get a little closer look here at that and at least get it on the picture for you. 60 mile per hour wind gusts possible as that line continues to move east at 50 miles per hour. So we're talking about Raymond, Davie, Wahoo, and almost Fremont, where we have that line moving through at this time with maybe some 60 mile per hour wind gusts, and eventually will make its way perhaps towards the Omaha metro area as we will go through the next few hours. And of course, we also have the storms that have been moving out of northeastern Kansas through southeastern Nebraska, now moving towards east central Nebraska up towards Plattsmouth and Omaha. Those storms are capable of producing some 70, 80 mile per hour wind gusts. You can see that line pretty much from around Unadilla towards Nebraska City, moving towards South Bend, Plattsmouth, and Omaha.
We also have some reports from a storm chaser in Gage County reporting some flash flooding as of 8:30. Storm chaser reporting flash flooding from around the Pickrell area to Adams, Nebraska. So again, that was from a storm chaser as of about 8:30 from the National Weather Service. So there's, again, it continues to be quite a bit more than a minor threat in some locations, that threat of heavy rain over a short amount of time. And when you couple that with some areas that picked up significant amounts, and I mean significant amounts of rain yesterday, that will continue to be a concern as we head through the next hour or two. But the general movement of these storms continues to be to the east and to the northeast. So as we mentioned earlier in this event, this is a progressive weather system, and so we're not going to be stuck in the same areas with round after round after round of rain or severe weather. And so we had the watches posted, a couple of tornado watches for portions of central and southeastern Nebraska, as well as northeastern Kansas. That the central Nebraska watch is set to expire at 9 o'clock. That's great news. And the one in the southeastern part of the state into northeastern Kansas officially runs until 11 o'clock. And then, of course, we haven't talked about it for a while. There's that severe thunderstorm watch that was issued, I don't know, about an hour ago maybe, for portions of northeast and east central Nebraska. That's in effect until midnight tonight. But again, those pink shaded counties indicating a severe thunderstorm watch. But you can also see, according to Brandon's map, how many counties in central Nebraska have already been cleared from that tornado watch for the central portions of Nebraska and Kansas.
Yeah, Ken, it looks as though that watch area that was until 9 is completely gone now. South central Nebraska and north central Kansas. So I'll just go ahead and take that box and arrow off, and we'll continue to watch here in eastern Nebraska, northeastern Kansas, as we still have the tornado watch going till 11 for Lincoln, Beatrice, Falls City, Pawnee City, Seward, down into northeastern Kansas as well. And then we also have that severe thunderstorm watch that includes Columbus, Omaha, Wahoo, until midnight tonight. We'll see if these two watches make it to 11 and midnight. But with the way things are moving and the pace at which they're moving, I would not be completely surprised to see these maybe at least some counties cleared out of these watches before 11 and midnight tonight.
We're hearing the thunder and seeing the lightning, and we've had precipitation now across the Lincoln Metro. Certainly nothing that I would consider, at least by looking at Skyview, that I would consider significant or threatening at this point, but we are seeing showers and thunderstorms rolling through portions of the Lincoln Metro. But once again, we have been living the high life here as far as the severe weather threat, at least so far this evening. While some areas have been hit extremely hard, we have not seen an awful lot of significant weather, at least in the Lincoln Metro, maybe portions of Lancaster County with more significant weather effects from this evening's activity. But right now, I would be, do I dare say this, I would be really surprised if Lancaster County ended up with a severe weather warning. So,
especially the Lincoln area at
right.
this point. But again, Raymond, Davie, down towards Firth, obviously having to deal with severe thunderstorm warnings at this time. So those are areas where we have reached that 58 miles per hour or higher range to trigger a warning. There's also been some hail reported with some of these storms. So yes, it just looks like Lincoln, even back towards Saline County, I don't believe they saw a warning there either. So it looks like the storms kind of weakened around Crete and Lincoln and Wilbur just enough that they remained below severe limits, at least for now.
Right.
We'll see how things play out. We're not done yet with that possibility of severe weather.
and again, as I was just watching Skyview as Brandon was talking to you over the Storm Tracker radar, we had a pretty good lightning strike. And certainly lightning is going to continue to be a dangerous component of this situation. Now, as we sit here at 8:37, we've got one tornado warning that's in effect until 8:45. So I think what we're going to do, Brandon, unless we get some additional tornado warnings, is that once we get to 8:45 and we can clear that Odo County warning and no additional tornado warnings are issued, I think we're going to head back to regular programming. And so, unless you can talk me out of it.
No, I don't think I'm going to talk you out of it, as it looks like, again, a lot of this activity is approaching the far eastern Nebraska area, and it looks like the bulk of it is starting to get past the majority of eastern Nebraska as far as the warnings go. We could still have maybe some of that large hail and perhaps those 60, 70, perhaps even 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts, especially with this activity that's stretching from around Plattsmouth down towards Nebraska City and Nemaha at this time. As that's making its way towards Omaha, it looks as though they may be picking up the majority of the severe weather here within the next hour, as they are under a severe thunderstorm warning there in the Omaha area until 9 this evening, where the storms from Unadilla to Nebraska City are beginning to make their way up towards Omaha, where 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts could be possible. That line of storms, that particular line, has had a history of producing 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts, but it looks as though perhaps here in the last few radar scans that maybe weakening a little bit. And then we still have that warning from north of Lincoln around Raymond and Davie through Wahoo. That's continuing here for a little bit longer. But yeah, I think we'll stick with you here just a little bit. We have that till 8:45 for Butler, Colfax, Dodge, Saunders, northern Lancaster County. And then we have the warnings mainly east of Lincoln at this point. It looks like 8:45, 9 o'clock on some of those right now.
It looks like the Weather Service is also going to let the warning for the Saunders and Dodge counties expire. It's going to continue the warning for Cass, Douglas, and Sarpy. We've had reports of ping pong ball size hail just after 8:30 in Louisville, Nebraska, which is in Cass County for folks that are familiar with that area. I'm seeing, especially on the Grand Island National Weather Service chat room, a lot of reports of thunderstorm winds between 55 and 65 miles an hour. Some irrigation pivots down, blown onto the road, and power poles broken off. That was in Clay County. A report by the emergency manager there. All kinds of different reports. It's almost too much to go through everything, but I think we're going to end up with quite a bit in the way of damage, either some power lines and trees down in some of these locations that had 60, 70 mile per hour winds plus. But again, the trend right now, besides that one tornado warning for Otoe County, is that for some of these storms to obviously continue to be severe, but an overall weakening of the activity as it continues to push east into extreme eastern Nebraska, and it's going to end up in western Iowa over a short time.
Yeah, and we can definitely see that here with the loop. This is the last hour, and here especially in the last few frames, you're seeing less of the pink and the dark red, indicating that we are beginning to see some weakening with this activity. So again, maybe we're starting to again see this situation getting a little bit better as far as the severe weather goes at this point. But we'll hang out here for a few more minutes. We'll see what they do with this tornado warning for Otoe County. If they go ahead and let it expire, if another one gets reissued, we'll probably stay with you. If not, we may be winding down here and getting you back to regular programming. Of course, keeping you up to date with information at the bottom of your screen as you see there, and then also on all of our other platforms, social media, and whatnot. And of course, and I'll have the very latest coming up at 10 o'clock this evening.
Well,